Hello everyone. Now this is a bit different from what I normally do, but I've noticed a growing trend recently that has been content creators making reaction videos to trailers and things like that, and announcements, and I figured I'd throw in my own 2 cents, and I'd provide a little bit of analysis on the trailer. So this is a bit unusual. I don't normally do this kind of thing, but I figured I'd give it a shot. I know everyone has kind of reacted to this already, but I thought I'm probably going to repeat a lot of what people have already said. I know people on the internet tend to have very similar opinions. I'm going to provide a bit of analysis as well, and try and further elaborate on my opinions as I go through. So it's not going to be like a live reaction, but I'll give my general thoughts on the trailer as we go through. So this is the recently released new Sonic trailer that was released by Paramount recently. So I'm going to play it for a bit, and then I'll pause it, and then we'll go over some stuff and talk about it. So let's begin. Now, I'm a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, so I'm eager to see this. Up there he is.
What the?
Got the old sound effects, classic Sega. Damn, max speed! Oh my god.
Gotta go fast.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it here, and we're going to go back over the first bit of the trailer we just saw, because it's very interesting actually. Here's our first look at the new design for Sonic the Hedgehog. I think it's great, personally. You know, I always kind of thought it was a bit weird. As much as how much I loved Sonic 06, I always thought it was a bit weird that you had cartoony hedgehogs mixing with realistic humans. So I'm glad they rectified the issue by making Sonic look a lot more grounded in reality, by having him look more realistic with these more lanky, human-like proportions, and I think that helps him blend into the world, so I quite like this design. I want to focus quickly on this shot. It's very quick, you can't see much of it, but you can see Sonic bouncing off a beanbag, and I think that shows that they're going to bring back the bounce attack from Sonic Adventure. We haven't seen the bounce attack in a little while. It was missing in the modern Boost games, and they brought it back for Sonic Lost World, but then they got rid of it again for Sonic Forces. So it's good to see that they're bringing back something from the Dreamcast era. So if you guys like Sonic Adventure, you'll probably feel right at home here. Going back to this bit of Sonic, we see that he goes super fast. It seems like they're returning to the boost formula again, like in Sonic Generations and Sonic Forces. It seems like they're bringing back the level designers as well, because you can see this is a very linear level. There's no real interesting paths or alternate areas. At least not from this little snippet. It might be it might not be representative of the full level. But I hope that we can at least bring back some more variation than we got in Sonic Forces, because I think that was one of the biggest complaints of Sonic Forces, was how linear the levels were. So hopefully Sega and Sonic Team have learned from that, and hopefully the levels won't all be this linear.
20 minutes ago,
yeah, this bit's cool. Okay, so this bit's cool. You see, this seems to hint, and this seems to be fan theory at the moment, but this seems to indicate that we're in the same continuity as Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog. You see that we're probably going to see the president from those games, and we've seen a few gun soldiers already, and it seems like Dr. Eggman is going to be working with the gun soldiers to a certain degree. So it'll be interesting to see how they expand upon the lore of Shadow the Hedgehog. I wonder if they'll bring back some of the elements. We'll notice that Eggman is wearing a very similar color scheme to Shadow the Hedgehog, so maybe he's planning something.
Meow?
Classic Sonic.
Oh, come on.
Okay, that was a great scene, but I want to go back quickly to this particular shot, because I think it really shows how impressive the graphics are. I mean, look at how much detail is on Sonic's face right now. This is the most detailed we've ever seen Sonic, and I think it's about time we started reaching this level of graphical fidelity, As much as I liked the stylized look of Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations and all that, I think you know, having Sonic look more hairy and furry is really the direction we should have gone a long time ago. And I'm glad that we finally have console graphics power capable of rendering those kind of graphics. I mean, look at his teeth, for example. Look at each individually modeled teeth in his mouth. It looks amazing. You know, before, just the game before this, Sonic Forces, he didn't even have proper teeth. He just had the, you know, white bits in his mouth, and you barely saw them. Now, you can actually see the individual teeth in his mouth. You can see all the hair, you can see the details on his snout, and I think this really shows how much respect Sega has for its #1 flagship franchise, that they're willing to go through all this effort to make Sonic look his best. And now, I must stress, this is early trailer footage, so it could be possible that we might see a graphics downgrade by the time this hits retail, but this is how trailers are sometimes. But hopefully this is a sign of what we can achieve with these next-gen graphics.
Okay, pal, I want answers. Basically, it looks like I'm gonna have to save your planet.
Yes, the spin dash is back, boys. I love the spin dash.
No, but thank you for asking.
Uh-oh.
Whatever this creature is, our job
I'm not sure about this new assistant that Eggman has. I don't know if they're really going to top Orbot and Cubot, but this guy seems okay. Okay, so here's another interesting thing that some people have picked up on, is that the rings are acting as portals, and this is actually a throwback to the first Sonic game. If you remember, at the end of each stage, if you manage to get more than 50 rings, you can jump through a giant ring to get to the bonus stage, and that's, I think, what we're seeing here is the bonus stage. So, as you can see here, the bonus stage seems to be like a farmhouse in rural America. So, it'll be interesting to see what the gameplay of these bonus stages is. I don't think it'll be like the half-pipe thing from Sonic 2. It might involve driving. I can see a van there, but we'll have to wait until the game comes out. Oh, I see what you did there, Sega. Classic wordplay.
Look at this! I took 9 million steps today.
Woo! Yeah! Amazing! Look at that action! There we have it. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Stay in there and be quiet.
How much longer? I can't breathe in here.
Do you have your child in that bag?
No. I mean, yes, it's a child, but it's not mine.
It's not your child.
It smells like body spray in an old ham sandwich.
Alright, it looks pretty promising so far, I think. I'm just going to go back to the last little bit and go back over a few things I've noticed. So I just want to point out the design of the Eggman's robots. I've noticed that they're sort of going for a more cleaner, futuristic look, which is more in line with what they went with in Sonic 06, which I approve of, because Sonic 06 was great. You know, I always thought it was a bit silly when Eggman uses things like motobugs and caterpillars, yeah, like robots that look like insects, and I always thought that was a bit silly. So I'm glad they're going with this more generic sci-fi look. I think it adds to Dr. Robotnik's personality a bit more. This next bit shows Sonic freezing time. This isn't an ability that Sonic normally has, but this looks like a very heavy action sequence. So it looks like we're getting something similar to Bayonetta, which is also another Sega franchise. So I guess it kind of makes sense there might be a little bit of crossover here, but I'm not sure about that. This might be an extra gameplay style. We might get maybe a speed section and a combat section, similar to Sonic Unleashed did with its Werehog sections. I'm not sure, but it looks a bit different from what we normally have, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Sega come up with. And finally, I just want to bring up this. We can see Eggman, but he looks a lot more closer to his classic style, which might indicate that we might be getting some continuity shift from Sonic Generations, where we had classic Eggman back. So we might be seeing modern and classic Eggman interact again. We just don't know. We might see classic Sonic again. We don't know. I mean, we saw it in Sonic Forces as well, so who knows? So far, I'm just speculating, but it looks very promising. I'm looking forward to playing this new Sonic game. I've noticed that they've called it Sonic the Hedgehog. They've rebooted the name again, so I guess we're gonna have to call this one Sonic 2019. Like Sonic 06 is called Sonic 06. Well, it seems kind of like they're going for a reboot with this game. I'm not sure. What? What do you mean it's? What do you mean it's a movie? What the fuck?
Meow? Together we